Instagram memes of megabuck bank statements, private jets and laser eyes once showcased the lavish lifestyles and success of the crypto rich. But as the value of digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ether and others collapse, mocking memes now point to vanishing fortunes as amateur investors suffer. Democratizing access to finance via easy-to-use apps like a Robinhood and a Coinbase can be great when markets are rising, but also education, trading tips and efficient regulations suddenly matter that much more when markets are falling. And that also separates more seasoned traders perhaps from those who often have so much more to lose. They might experience an emotional roller coaster of euphoric highs and then crushing lows and a sense of desperation, much like victims of gambling, drugs or alcohol. Well, now therapists are bracing for an influx of people seeking help for so-called crypto addiction. Castlecraig Hospital in Scotland treats just that. The residential rehab centre is warning getting hooked can destroy your life. Tony Marini is senior specialist therapist there and he joins us now. Tony, we're really great to have your expertise on the show today. How common a problem is crypto addiction, and do you class it as what we've seen in the past as gambling?
So yeah, absolutely. The how I see this is that, crypto is definitely gambling. It's not regulated in any way, and so straight away you're gambling whether that site is going to still be there in a month or two. We had somebody in that invested all of their pension into it, and 2 months later the platform disappeared. And because it's not regulated, there was really nothing that they could do about it. I mean, the other thing is it's where it takes you. It's that highly fulfilling stage at the beginning. That excitement. That fantasizing about buying things, the interaction with other traders. But once we get into that risky use, it's what it does to us emotionally. So the social anxiety, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth down. We've even seen a lot of people physically, coming withdrawn from it. My first patient was in 2016, and more and more since then have come through the door. So we've had in just this half of the year coming up for 180 different people with different addictions through crypto. What we're finding, the people, we've just got a guy just arrived back that was here 3 years ago for drugs and alcohol. Got into trading in crypto in December last year, made £550,000, and that took him back to the drugs and alcohol, and lost every single penny that he had made on that. This is definitely gambling when you go into, you have to remember not everybody's going to be addicted to drugs and alcohol, just as everybody's not going to be addicted to gambling. So not everybody's going to be addicted to the crypto currencies. But if you think about it, there's millions of people trading now, millions of people. So even if it's a percentage, it's ruining a lot of people's lives. What we're saying, 99 people are losing money where one person's making money. So there's going to be big problems with this.
Tony, I mean, you've mentioned so many cases there, and there was so much in there. I just wanted to stop you for a second, because I think what you're suggesting is that if you're vulnerable to addiction of any form, then the emotional roller coaster, particularly the highs, is going to be alluring. And it seems what you've seen is that one addiction can lead to another, and it can take people back down a path perhaps of some addiction that they've managed to get over for a period of time, like drugs and alcohol. An incredibly important warning. I think there'll be people watching that perhaps recognize some of the addictive qualities in themselves when they're trading this, and it doesn't even have to be crypto in this sense, it can be other things. What are the warning signs, Tony, for people around them, perhaps, if not themselves, to recognize that they're addicted to something and they're going down a dangerous path?
Absolutely. I mean, probably friends and family will notice it more than the actual person that's
Right.
in the throes of this. You know, to start with, it's exciting, it's simple to use. So it's highly rewarding and stimulating. But then we start to see that more risky use, and people start to become irritable. They're posting things and searching for things constantly, frequently checking their phone, their computer, comparing themselves to others. What happens is they start to build up the negative emotions. So their self-confidence, their self-esteem, self-worth are down. So it impacts, family, it impacts their work, it impacts them financially. And that's when we're starting to get into, crossing that line into the mental obsession with it. That's when we start getting into that desperation stage, the frantic behavior. And that's what we're seeing is, people, especially lately, with the crash and everything, people are swapping into other things now, maybe different coins, different cryptos. Or,
Tony,
oh, yes,
what happens if people can't afford the kind of therapy that you provide? And,
I know.
the reason why you're there is because you have personal experience of addiction, and now you're perhaps the best kind of therapist because you understand what people are going through and you've come out the other side. If people can't afford the kind of therapy or the hospital, particularly to the point that you made about the pensioner that lost their pension savings, I mean, I can't imagine what that kind of person's going through. What are the basic things that people can perhaps do to help themselves?
Yeah, so I mean, where this takes you to, is the complete dependency and its suicidal ideations.
Right.
I've seen many people with this. So getting help with, either an addiction specialist in therapy, which, you can have one-to-one and it's not too expensive. But there's also, Gamblers Anonymous out there, which is free, and what we're finding, I'm quite heavily into helping in GA, and what we're finding is there's a lot more people coming with the crypto addiction. Obviously, they've lost lots of money, so they can't afford to come to a rehab like this. So, going into, GA, which gives us a platform to actually express what's going on for us. And we can have that identification from others that have gone through similar things. But there's also help, there for friends and family of the addict and, Gam-Anon and stuff, because that addict might be in denial about, what's going on in their life. They're not in reality.
No,
It's the
you're
escape
right.
from reality. That's where
The
the
core.
addiction takes. Absolutely.
Tony, we're going to get you
Yes.
back on because we've only just begun this conversation, but we've run out of time. You're going to come back and talk to us more, please. And I think the bottom line there was ask for help. And we'll tweet out
Totally.
some numbers as well. Yeah. Tony,
Excellent.
great to chat to you. Thank you. Tony
Been a
Marini
pleasure.
there,
Thank
Senior
you.
Specialist Therapist at Castle Craig Hospital. So we'll reconvene on this conversation, I promise.